Hello and welcome. My name is Camasso, and this is Critical Political Thinking. Today, we are going to begin with a four-part series, with the first part being for the Small Business Administration EIDL, also known as the Economic Injury Disaster Loan. So here we are. My name is Camasso, and this is Critical Political Thinking. Hello and welcome. I'm Camasso, and thank you for joining us here on Critical Political Thinking. We know these are very trying times, and it is my duty, with the equipment that I have and what I'm able to do for everyone, that I feel that I should present you with some more information. I am personally a small business owner, and I have seen a great misjustice, I should say, done to the American small business company. What I have noticed and what I have seen thus far is no help is being given to the small business. And I can honestly say that I don't feel that there's any help being given to the small business yet, as of yet. Now this could change, and hopefully it does. I do know that they did not give enough money in this stimulus to provide for all small businesses. We are all not going to fit within that stimulus bill. But first, what I'd like to discuss for you is the one thing on everybody's mind. Where's my money? It's been 3 days. I applied for this EIDL, and I have nothing, not even a confirmation email. And that is accurate. However, what it's going to boil down to is they never said 3 days. What they said was 3 days from an accepted application. But I'm going to get to that. So first, let's start from the beginning. What the stimulus bill did was it enabled all small businesses. Well, a small business is a business of 500 or less employees, which also includes sole proprietorships. That includes independent contractors, self-employees, faith-based entities, veterans groups, all of that. That is all now included in this small business classification. So this is a small business loan that is available to all small businesses. Now, I've just categorized the businesses. So now you say, all right, I fit into that category. What are my other requirements? Your other requirements, from what I've seen so far, is you have to have some form of tax record, or if you're a newer business, you are still eligible, but you are going to have to do what's called a self-certification. And that is by penalty of perjury under the law. So you must tell the truth on this. This is something that is out there to help businesses. So please don't lie, don't scam. You won't get away with it, I assure you. They are making sure. That is why there is such a delay. But what you need to understand about this is you have to apply for it. Now, you might say, I have already applied for this. That's fantastic. Now, my next question is, did you apply before the 30th of April? If you applied before the 30th of April, while your application is in queue, you are not eligible for what I'm about to discuss next. Secondly, if you did apply after, you would have received a confirmation number starting with 33 or 34. That means that you put your application through after they have added the EIDL $10,000 grant, or you should say repayable or forgivable portion of the loan. Now, this is also an advance on the loan. What that means is, now that I've explained to you how you can apply for it by checking that box on the newer streamlined application available on SBA.GOV, once you have put in your streamline, now if you have already applied, going back before the 30th, and you did not reapply since the 30th, please go back and do so and make sure you check the box, the $10,000 emergency loan advance. You must check that box. The box was not on the original application. Therefore, if you did not do it that way, you will not receive the $10,000 forgivable grant loan. So now what the original grant had said was, anyone that's applying for this EIDL can ask your loan officer for a emergency cash advance on this loan, which is forgivable, meaning you no longer have to pay this back as long as you're utilizing it for valid business-related materials that are explained within the guidelines available on your loan terms. Now, so everyone from the beginning is thinking, great, we can ask for 10 grand, they're going to put that in our accounts within 3 days of filling this form out. And that is what the entire country thought, and rightfully so. There was no clarification. There was nothing on the internet that told us any differently. There was nothing that they were providing telling us any differently. I sat on the phone. I was caller 1,496, and I sat on that phone for over 4 hours. And they were not able to tell me a single thing other than to make sure that I reapply like I've just explained. Now, I did find out a lot more, so you're not watching this video for nothing. So where we stand now is they are currently reassessing and reevaluating all of those applications that have been put in place. They're combining the multiple applications if you combine before the 29th, and then you put your 29th and before, obviously 30th and after would be the new streamlined. They're going to combine those two applications. So that's the process they're going through right now, and that's why there's such a delay. Now, they've also, even though the verbiage says you can request up to $10,000 and you may receive it, the SBA is now saying that's not the case. You can request $10,000, just like I can ask you to subscribe. Please do. It's not going to do you any, I can't force you to subscribe, but you're more than welcome to do so. Just like you're more than welcome to ask for this $10,000. By the way, please subscribe. Anyway, so you're welcome to ask for this $10,000, but they're not going to give it to you unless you have 10 employees. They are giving $1,000 per employee up to 10. That means your advance can only be up to $10,000 and only if you have 10 employees. That means the sole proprietors, the single businessmen, the people like myself with one person, one business, that means I get $1,000 in this forgivable portion of the loan. Now, that doesn't mean I can't ask for more based on the need of my company. You can't just say, I want $2 million. No, you have to have need. You have to show the need. It doesn't necessarily have to be debt, but it has to be something within the next few months that is current, that is, consistent, and that was what they will provide you this loan for. Now, everyone is very upset with that. Everyone thought they were getting $10,000. You are not going to get $10,000 unless you have 10 employees. They won't do it. So that means all single businesses right now, for at least the foreseeable future, if you don't qualify or you don't take that loan, you get $1,000 for your business to survive through however long this is, as of right now. There's no additional stimulus bills being put on the table at this time. They're going to be, hopefully. But at this point, that is the maximum that your business will get if you do not qualify for a loan. And that is the maximum that you will get if this is the only loan you apply for without, any kind of forgiveness. Otherwise, you're taking a loan at a percentage. So let me see if I get that right. You're telling me that the federal government forced my business to close. They didn't give me the option to close for the safety of myself and my employees, which I don't have, it's just me. So you're telling me I was forced to close my business, a business that makes far more than $1,000 a month. I'm forced to close down my store with no choice, but yet I don't get any help? I get screwed, and there's nothing I can do about it? How is that fair? That was my business. That's what I took time since 1998 to build. And now, as a direct result, I get nothing. Nothing. Nothing at all, other than $1,000. And I can take out a loan. I can pay the government that forced me to close a percentage. I have to pay them interest because they made me. So that's basically them forcing me to take a loan to survive and give them money to do so, even though they're the ones that put us in this position. I'm not saying they caused the virus, but I am saying they should have given business people the opportunity to find a way to operate their business either remotely, but not force it closed. I am a non-essential business, but I have the ability to do things remotely, and I am not even able to do so because I'm non-essential. So unfortunately for me, I have no choice. But now I have no help. And I just don't understand how that's fair. Obviously, I'm going to pursue the Eidl loan. It is a low enough interest rate, and I'm not going to take out a substantial loan, just enough to get us through the next 4 or 5 months. I really believe that's what the coronavirus, at least, is going to last. But the other issue with this funding is this. How many businesses are there? How many millions of businesses are there in the United States? I did the math. And if every single business were to apply for this, $11,000 per business is all we would be able to get, because that's the end of the money. There's nothing left to pull from. $11,000. So even if they gave us the full 10,000, that would mean we would only be able to eligibly ask for another 1,000 if all the, and most 85% of businesses are going to be putting out for these loans. Only 15% of businesses are still either running or have not been significantly impacted by this virus. You know, restaurants, they're open, but they're significantly impacted. The only things that aren't are big box stores, and they are being impacted because other products aren't being sold. So no one hasn't been impacted. So everyone was technically eligible as far as the eligibility requirements go. But then as far as the loan itself goes, forget about it. And now keep in mind, the SBA is not subbing out these loans. These are loans that are going through the SBA from start to finish. What does that mean? Unless they plan on hiring on 100,000 employees, we aren't going to get this money for at least 3 weeks or longer. So that means single prop businesses have to now do $1,000 for the next 4 months, would be my assumption, if you're not going to apply. Or $1,000 for a full month, month and a half before the funding actually hits your account. So can you make it on $1,000? I don't know if I can. I certainly don't think I can. Now there are other loans available, and I'm going to put them out in parts 2, 3, and 4. Part 2 is going to be the PPP loan that everyone is raving that they get no help on. And I'll get into all that in that video. But right now, what you need to understand is the economic injury disaster loan has failed. It has substantially failed, and I blame it all on the SBA. The government said we can ask for more funding. So then why hasn't the SBA just followed through and saved the businesses? I know why. Because they know they don't make any money that way. The only way they're going to see a penny is through interest. So unless they're forcing these loans on us, that's the only way we're going to make it. And they realize they have us by the you know what. So what can we do? What options do we have? America, I'm asking you at this point, because I have done the research. I have looked everywhere, top to bottom, and there are no answers. You can call the SBA. You can sit on the phone for over an hour every time you call, and they will consistently give you absolutely no valid information. And why, you ask? Because there's such a volume of calls. They have hired so many independent call centers to answer these calls, and they're only providing them with 2-page scripts. I've asked. I said, how long is the information that you've been given, and how long have you been operating by this company? Oh, I haven't been here very long, and I have 2 pages to read from. And if your information that you're requesting isn't on those 2 pages, I have no access. I can look up on the system to see if we've received your application, but obviously it hasn't been assigned to a loan officer yet. So if it hasn't been assigned to a loan officer yet, that means the application isn't submitted. That means that 3 days, 4 days, 5 days for the disaster loan, it hasn't even started yet. And on top of it, they haven't even sent as much as a confirmation email. I mean, for crap's sakes, even the worst businesses in the world send back a confirmation email when you put in a request. Even a complaint line puts in a confirmation email. And you have failed us in so many ways, SBA. I'm asking, help us. I'm asking you, tell us, give us proper guidance, not misguided misinformation. When you speak without authority, you sound awfully stupid. And my God, if you're not doing that. It sickens me every time I look on your Twitter and see, we funded this, we did this, we're moving right along. No, you're not, because I'll tell you right now, I have asked every single solitary small business person that I could in the past week, have you received good information? Have you received quality information? Have you received any information? And have you seen any kind of funding or assistance? Guess what I got? Straight across the board. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Our personal banks can't help us with this EIDL. They can only do the PPP. And wait till you hear that mess. But outside of it, this is what we were relying on. This is what we needed to save our businesses, to save this economy, and to save the small business economy. And now you have destroyed that. I assure you, mark my words, businesses will not recover. And you aren't doing enough to help us. You aren't. That's the bottom line. Senators have sent letters to the SBA. Send enforcement to the SBA. Send reinforcement to the SBA. But get them the help we need to get the funding that you made available ASAP. Because without it, we are done. We are gone. You won't see any more taxes. You won't see any more money, and you certainly will not see a re-election. Ladies and gentlemen, we're in a very difficult position, and I will try my best to continue to bring you the most accurate information that I can possibly provide. I will provide the links below in the description of everything that I feel you need to know in order to either apply for this EIDL or at least the information that I submitted without giving exact amounts so that you are able to do it yourself. Make sure you have reapplied after the 30th. If you didn't reapply after the 30th, your application will not include that non-repayable grant, and you will not be eligible for the $1,000 to $10,000 no matter where you fall, regardless. Even if it is only $1,000, it's $1,000 you didn't have and $1,000 you don't have to pay back. So again, ladies and gentlemen, please pay attention to this. Make sure you fill out your application correctly and make sure you stay on it. We cannot let them win. They shut us down. They forced us to close. They destroyed a surging economy. And for what? That should have been our decision. This is our country. These are our businesses, this is our future, and these are our lives. And we have sat back like sheep and allowed them to shut us down, and now provide no help whatsoever. I'm sorry, but this is not America anymore, and this is not like America. And you know what the saddest part? I don't even think I can blame Donald Trump because he passed the bill. But there's no enforcement, and everybody keeps blowing smoke up everybody's ass, so much so that they think they're doing great. They're failing. I'm the first, not the first actually, I'm the millionth to tell you, you're not doing your job. The head of the SBA, that woman is destroying everything. She's terrible. I have never seen somebody do a terrible job as her. But at this time, we need help. Get us help or we're done. As sad as that sounds, there is no way out of this. You started it. Help us finish it. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Camasso, and this is Critical Political Thinking. God bless us all.